Hi, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. And what I do is share with you my investment attitudes, my investment strategies. I'm basically investing in a portfolio for the future. I like to, and I'm going to from this point, refer to my portfolio is designed for 2030. I don't have a clue as to what's going to happen in the market this morning. I'm not a day trader, and I'm certainly not a swing trader. I invest based on the change that I think is going to happen in the world. And I think if you look around today in the world we're in, if you examine the stock market this morning and what's hot and what's not, in 2030, it won't look anything like this. Our world won't look anything like this. We're moving towards even more a digital economy, even more a sharing economy. And with that in mind, that's what I want to examine today in this video, is where I think it's going in 2030 and what you need to do if you want to invest in the future, what you need to do and what you need to put into your portfolio and where you will find the exponential growth that's going to happen over the next 10 years. 2030 will look nothing like 2021. That I can guarantee you. Okay, so if this is the kind of investing you want to do for the future, where you've got some insights of what's going to happen, subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up. Ring the bell so you'll know when I put out new videos. And then go to bestofusinvestors.com and give me your name and your email address, and I'll send you a link to our Discord. At our Discord, we have about 18,000 people who think the way I think and want to figure out what is the best thing to invest in today for exponential growth into the future. I want to take you back to the early 90s and show you the Amazons and the Facebooks and the Apples of the future. That's what Best of Us Investors is all about. So I'll be right back with you. I got to get my notes together.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Grinkmeyer.
Here's what I know about 2030, and this is about demographics. There are going to be many, many more grandparents than there are grandchildren. And this is going to have some ramifications because as grandparents get older, they need someone to take care of them, to help them get through the balance of their life. They need caregivers. But if there's less grandchildren than there are grandparents, there aren't going to be the people we need, particularly in those countries that limit immigration. So what does that mean? That means there needs to be robots. And if you look to where are the robots going to come from, you're going to see that the biggest country that has this problem is in Japan today, with an overwhelming 27% of their population over the age of 60 and growing towards 80. They are the leader in robots. The second in the next 10 years will be China, as a result of their lack or their one-child policy from 1975 to 2015. They have a very imbalance in demographics, and they have an aging population. The other part of the robotic world is that by 2030, there will be more robots in manufacturing than human beings. We know this, and we can already see it happening, particularly, again, in Japan and China. So we need to recognize that today and determine who are the small companies who are going to be the leaders in this area and more than likely be bought up by the big companies. We know that Amazon already recognizes that. We have a distribution center out here in Birmingham, Alabama, and they already have as many robots in that distribution center as they do human beings. And that number will only increase on the robotic side because robots don't ask to vote to be unionized. They don't ask for raises. They don't show up late for work, and they work 24 hours a day without maternity leave. So robots are going to become an extremely big part of our economy as we move to 2030. We also know that there will be more computers than there will be human brains by 2030. And those computers will be making the decisions as a result of artificial intelligence and machine learning. They'll even enter your home to help you make decisions about things you don't know about, such as you step into your bathroom to brush your teeth and you pull out a tube of toothpaste, what is the best chemical makeup of the toothpaste for your DNA? You don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. So therefore, my avatar, my artificial intelligence, will make the decision for me based on the knowledge it has from the cloud of the makeup of toothpaste and from the cloud, my DNA, and will actually make the purchase of our toothpaste. That will affect every element of our life. And if I know that today, and that's what's going to be in 2030, I can know what to invest in. The world will have more sensors than it has human eyeballs. And those sensors will be dictating and sensing everything around us. Not only when I say sensors, and I don't just mean video cameras to watch and see what's happening everywhere, but we will have sensors in every form of our appliances that tell us when they are going to malfunction and how they can be more efficient. I have read an article where a tractor is being made by John Deere that will have probes all along the front of it that will sense the need of fertilizer in the soil as it moves through the field. And then 4 feet behind those sensors will be a distribution of fertilizer. So if this part of soil needs more nitrogen and this part of the soil needs more phosphate, they will get what they need, and it will make that field more productive. And as we also already know that one of the biggest pollutants of our world is fertilizer, it will not put unneeded fertilizer into the field. Those are things that we know are coming, and those are things that we can invest in. We, as investors, can take ownership in so that we prosper along with the companies that specialize in these areas. There will be more currencies than there are countries. We're already beginning to see that with the various forms of cryptocurrency. Our banking system is going to change drastically. We live in a world right now, and I see this and you see this, that banking is something of an elitist field. We loan money to businesses and people who have a lot of money. The people who want to have a lot of money and want to start up have to fight and scrape and pay outlandish interest rates. Whereas companies like Square, who count every penny who comes through a cash register, have more knowledge of whether a business or an entrepreneur should be lended more money, as opposed to a bank who really doesn't monitor our cash register and really doesn't care. They just want to make money off of us. So it is not a collaborative effort. It is not a sharing of knowledge effort. It's punitive. And if you miss your payment, we're going to punish you. So our banking system will change. Our banking system as we know it won't exist. So knowing that now today, we need to invest differently. We need to plant the seeds of investment, not with Wells Fargo and Bank of America, but things cryptocurrencies, Square, PayPal, the companies who want to exceed our expectations as opposed to punishing us because we made a mistake, because we didn't watch our balance and we overdrafted and we're going to punish you for it. Our banking system will change, and we need to know that. By 2030, the wealthy people in this world will transition from men to women. Women are having fewer babies. This is a demographic situation. Having fewer babies. They're deciding they want education as opposed to motherhood, and they want to be active and use their talents and their skills and their minds to be a part of our world. And as that happens, there will be a shift in the holdings of assets. We already know this because there are more female undergraduates in our college system today than there are men. We also know that the area or the location of education is changing. We know that companies like Google and Microsoft are creating their own universities because they've recognized that the education system that we have today educates based on yesterday's knowledge, yesterday's technology, and not today's and tomorrow's. So Google says, you aren't training people the way we want. Microsoft says we aren't training people the way we want. So they're creating their own universities. What does that mean to me as an investor? I need to be aware of the change that is coming. We have an aging population. Harry Dent told us back in 2016 that the economy was going to fail, that the economy was going to crash because of the aging baby boomer, because 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day and will continue until they die in 2035. But what Harry didn't think of or wasn't aware of is the technology and the economy that was going to change to make those baby boomers, the graying economy, if you will, the main controllers of the wealth of our nation and the wealth of the world. 80% of the wealth of the world is held by the baby boomers. But Harry said, yes, but most of them don't have the money they need and the pensions they need and the capital they need to survive. But Harry didn't know about Airbnb. No, he didn't know that the empty nest baby boomers who has 3 rooms upstairs for their children to live in and now no longer have children. Harry didn't realize that they can now rent those rooms out and mom can make them a breakfast and they can provide more income. And while mom's doing that, Dad can get in his car that he only drives a few miles a week now, and he can go become a part of Uber. And he can earn income in a gig economy so that they can live longer and more comfortable. Harry didn't recognize that. Harry said they were going to pull all their money out of the stock market, put it into CDs. Who would put up money into CDs? He didn't understand the gig economy. He didn't understand that there's a 76-year-old who lives in Birmingham, Alabama, who does a YouTube channel, who makes more money now than he did when he was working. Harry didn't recognize that. Most of the world still doesn't recognize it. So we need to change as we, the educated people of the economy, and know what the world's going to look like in 2030. We need to change our investment strategy. The economy is not going to collapse. Harry also didn't recognize that our economists would recognize that incurring national debt is not always bad, particularly when interest rates are low, and particularly when your economy is going to continue to grow and your GDP is going to continue to grow because more efficiency is coming into the market. Your GDP is going to grow because you're going to move manufacturing back out of China into the United States, and you're going to have that economy, those manufacturers, run by robots and 3D printing, which then makes the businesses more efficient, more profitable, greater GDP, and then through better education, we're going to educate those workers to be more efficient, more knowledgeable, and we're going to have a growing economy. Our whole economic is going to change. And I'm going to repeat what I just said earlier. The economy, the stock market that you look out there right now, today, isn't going to look anything like what it's going to look like in 2030. So if I know that, if I've read the book, The Future is Faster Than I Think, and if I've read the book, The Big Nine, and I recognize that data is the new oil, is the new gold, is the new land of the knowledge economy, of the digital economy, of the sharing economy, I know where to invest. And then if I can find a common group of people who think the way I think, who are looking for what I'm looking for, and that is the companies of the future, the small companies that are going to get the exponential growth, the small companies that are going to be bought up by Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, if I know that, and if I can get it with a collection of people who think the way I'm thinking and are searching the way I'm searching, I can achieve my 3 objectives of investing. And that is make good investment decisions, keep more of what I make by understanding the tax code, and accumulating family wealth. If I can do those things, if I can gather in a room with people like-minded like that, I'm way ahead of the game. Because truly, if you ask anybody, go out in the grocery store, tap somebody on the shoulder and say, what's 3D printing? What's going to happen with robotics? What is the most important event that's happened in your life? And if they say the coronavirus, invite them to our group. But 99% of the people don't have a clue as to what is going to happen. They don't even care. They don't even think about it. So if I can get with a group of people and put our minds together and seek out and find these companies of 2030, I'm ahead of the game. I don't have any way not to succeed. Well, that's what Best of Us Investors is. And that's what this YouTube channel is all about. I don't care what's going to happen in the market tomorrow, because the odds are I'll be wrong, because I don't have any control over what those quantum computers that are owned by those hedge funds are going to do. I don't have any control how many of you are putting in stop loss orders that can be seen by those quantum computers and are all designed to take the money out of your pocket. I have no control over that. So why would I play that game? Why would I care what Powell is going to do at the Federal Reserve? I don't care. What I care about is what I know. And what I know is what this world's going to look like in 2030. Because I've educated myself. Because I've come together with a group of people who are going to help educate me even further. And where do I find those people? At my Discord. Right now, there's about 18,000 of them. We share information. We even have an investment committee. And that's about 7 people who take the input from the 18,000, rate the stocks that they want us to look at, do the due diligence, have access to the best minds all over the internet who are doing their research. We subscribe to their research. We subscribe to their tools. And then we feed the information back to our village, our tribe. That's what Best of Us Investors is all about. That's what Carrie Grinkmeyer is about. I'm a retired financial advisor. I spent enough years playing that game. I know what it's all about. It's about an 8% return at best. I don't want it. I don't want an 8% return. I want it a minimum of 25. And last year I got 60. Not doing so well this year, but I'll be willing to bet you I'll get my 25 or more this year because I'm invested in the future. I do not hold any AT&T or any Verizon. Those companies are going out of business. I don't hold any Bank of America. I don't hold any Exxon because those companies are going out of business. And if you don't know that, I also don't hold any GameStop or any, Lordstown or Kodak or any of those and I do not invest in a SPAC because Kamath or Serena Williams or Shaquille O'Neal or Michael Jordan or whoever else is raising money. What the hell do they know? They're basketball players. They're football players. Kamath, he's a carnival barker. No, I want to be with people who read, who research, and help me make good financial decisions. If you want to be a part of our group, come on, get off that day trading and that swing trading avenue. I saw a thing today on Sunday morning, and it was talking about sports betting. And Brent, what's his name? He used to be a sportscaster, and he said, if you've got some money that you just don't care if you keep or you lose, bet on sports. If you got some money and a lot of good intelligence, bet on the stock market. That's what we do here. But we don't bet. We make good investment decisions. Okay. That's my take for today. Come join us. Be a part. We want 1 million subscribers, so subscribe, ring the bell, and come see us at Best of Investors, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.